we did receive the proposed IMA from the town for the joint use of the outfall pipe.
And we took a look at it, have made, or are making comments to it, and we're sending it back to the town.
So do you want our opinion on anything before you send it back to the town? We're just gonna do it. Just asking for it.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't think this, it can't be part of an executive session, so. The main change is that the town is looking for the village to contribute 50% of any repairs, maintenance of the outfall pipe, whereas presently, and since 1979, it's been 1/3. That's the main biggest change. They're asking for it to be split 50-50 instead of 1/3, 2/3, like it's been in the 79. No explanation for that, they just threw it in. So
I'm assuming you read line that.
well, and it was, you know, the mayor, Darrell, myself, Jake, and John Carnevale, we met this morning, and our inclination is to come back and say, why not 1/3? Then 1/3, why the change? Let's go back to 1/3 and see what they do.
I agree with that.
I think a lot of it has to do with that the town feels they've got all the leverage in these negotiations, because basically it's the village that wants and needs its own speed use permit. And to get that, you need an IMA with the town over the shared pipe. So they're like, hey, if you want the agreement, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Well, that's only, again, that's only my opinion, my conjecture. I obviously haven't had any discussions with anyone over the town as to why instead of 1/3 it's 50%. But I
How much is it?
But I guess
Anybody?
well, and this is the whole point. What they basically did was they took the 1979 agreement and copied and pasted it and made just a couple of changes. But the problem is the 79 agreement wasn't just the outfall code. That was when the village had to pay for, the town built, the village paid for the whole redundant trickling filter and basically another sewage treatment plant down on the town site that never got used. And now it's, since it hasn't been used in 40 some odd years, it's useless. But the 79 agreement had in it, you know, a schedule for the village to pay its share of all that stuff. Well, now we're down to just the outfall pipe. And all it is, and Jake can tell you, it's a gravity-fed pipe that's basically got water flowing through it, because that's all the effluent after it's all been treated by both the town and the village, that goes out into the lake. So John said, and he's been around for 30 years, he can't recall ever the town billing the village for any type of maintenance of the outfall pipe. Because there is no maintenance. He said one time, back when Mike Caparelli was the sewer treatment plant operator, and someone else, I forget his name, Jeff Camiso, probably because they wanted to do it, they scuba dove and jumped in and looked at it. You know, so at best, every 5 years or something, you hire some guy to go scuba dive and check it out, whatever that costs. Otherwise, the town hasn't been built for anything, because there is no operation and maintenance cost. Yet in the agreement, they got all this crud in there about paying, you know, proportionate shares of insurance and salaries with benefits and up for a pipe that there is no maintenance for. You know, so it's kind of crazy. But, yeah. So really, you know, the only expense was, however long, it's like 10 years now, Peter, when a portion of the pipe literally broke off and floated down to Gannett. And so that had to get, obviously, repaired, and the village paid a third, $300,000, which the village is still paying off for that. But other than that, since 1979, that's been the only cost for the joint outfall pipe.
Yeah.
Yet they want 50% of it.
Yeah.
They're probably trying to see what we do.
Well, maybe, well, that's fine, I guess I don't fault them for, you know, if they want to negotiate, that they start high and hopefully we'll end up somewhere else, but that's where it's at.
So, some changes are being made and sent
Yeah,
back.
and there's some other stuff, you know, because right now, the way it's worded, even if there were some future improvements that need to be made to it, like it's not big enough to handle the combined flow of the town and the village anymore, and it's got to get, you know, the way it's written now is they got the village paying 50% of that, even though any increased need may not be attributable to the village use of it at all, and I think it all would be to the town. When we originally drafted our version of the IMA and sent it to them, we had the future based on need, the respective need or benefit. Whoever needed it or benefited it most, they paid. If it was a joint benefit, then fine, 50-50 or whatever, but they've got it 50-50 no matter what, the way it is, not, you know, the way they proposed it, so.
But at some point, as you said, if they didn't budge, you're back to mercy because we have to,
Oh, you're right.
we have to do it, so those are
Or
costs.
the choices to go back to the whole regional,
Yeah.
you know, joint plan, you know, because the DEC is requiring the village to get its own speedies permit, and they made a condition of that. They want, well, and the main reason the village needs the IMA is to outline its express right to use the outfall pipe. They didn't put that in there at all because it wasn't in the 79 agreement, so we got to do that.
Location.
So anywho, it's, this will probably take months and months, because it took a long time to get this draft.
Well, maybe not.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.